Hello.
A fledgling hunter by the looks of it. What's someone so soft doing in the Caelid coast? Don't you know this is Bolgan country? Those red devils are really digging in. I've slain many on my hunt for Tirnoch. The scars don't give me away? Ha! You're probably the first person in recorded history not to recognize the mighty Alof the Hunter. Usually my reputation precedes me. As for why I am here in this muggy puddle of piss, I intend to conquer Tirnoch, the mighty Bolgan, and win his eye as my trophy. But first he must be summoned, for he won't just face any foe, you know. Only those he deems worthy to smite with his blade. Ha! You're certainly welcome to try, but I'm afraid he'll be much too dead by the time I finish with him. Besides, you still have the offering to consider. Tirnoch will only battle those who can prove their ferocity. It is his way of swatting away the flies who don't offer enough of a thrill for his fiery blood. If you can collect the eyes of 10 Bolgans, then you are clearly a warrior who deserves a reckoning. Set the eyes upon Tirnoch's war lanterns and the beast will emerge. By offering the bloodthirsty beast the eyes of 10 Bolgan that you have slain. Once you place that bloody offering on the pedestal and light the war fires, the ugly brute will emerge. Grand fellows and courageous to a fault. They're the ones who accompanied me this far, helped me pass through all their bloody checkpoints. Of course, once I had the chance to take leave of them, I did. One doesn't need a band of glory hunters following him on the most glorious hunt of his career. Ha! My hunts are the stuff of legend. Not even that Fey armor-tear can boast to have tracked and slain more prey than I. And now I intend to claim Tirnoch, the Bolgan champion, as my greatest trophy from the Caelid coast. The Tuatha and the Bolgan have kept this land in their greedy pockets for more than 10 years. They can have it for all I care. It's a stagnant pit of decay and despair. The oldest and mightiest of the living Bolgan, he led the armies of Gadflow to victory over the houses of Ancilla and Gassir. Tirnoch may be ancient and marred by war, but don't let that fool you. He is as strong as ever. I've traveled the world and hunted all manner of beasts. I tracked them down, claimed their heads and hides as mine. Krang the Etin, I slew him, as I did the Fist of Corthis and the clan of Craddock elders in Galliford. Goodbye. Who approaches me?
At first, they were genuine friends. We were so young, with nothing in the world to really concern us. There was no place for malice or resentment. I don't care anymore, they're not worth my breath. I was in a place of promise. Lyria's magic shined throughout the halls. New and interesting people were everywhere. None of it I learned more in 2 days than I did
Sorrow precedes you, mortal. It is almost enough to shift the great scale on its own. It has been centuries since my reverie was last disturbed. For what cause are you here? What could a mortal possibly want with me? Bizarrain, I have been sealed in here for some time, mortal. But even I know this one. His is the hand that leads the House of Sorrows, no? I know something of the war this land cries of. I will serve. But before I go to his side, you must find Alarain. She and I are as one. It means much to me that you wish to reunite us. We have been long in isolation, contemplating death. Perhaps too long. As you found me on one part of the scale, so will you find her on the other. Now I will leave my cell to wait for you both. She tends to the scale as I have for these many centuries. You must reset the scale in order to reach her chamber. Alarain and I have been apart for some time. I think it will be good when this business is over to resume our meditations together. I was another of the wretches that the Weeping King saved when he first walked into the Faelands. When he pulled the rot of winter from me, I learned how I too could do the same. So I learned the finer points of his magic, and followed him as the first Delver. Though all of the house are the followers of the Weeping King, the Delvers are his true disciples. They can delve into the sorrows of another, just as he did. It was formed as a way to keep the winter traditions of decay and rot while building a winter court. But in time, we lost true sight of what the essence of winter was. The Sorrows are the inheritance of the House of Sorrows, so to speak. We have been working at delving for centuries, collecting and shaping this magic. But we had never thought that it could be exploited. Do the Tuatha revere nothing? They are Alarain's orders. In many ways, they are the stewards of the House of Sorrows, while delvers deal in the spiritual, tenders see to the corporeal. That moniker holds no meaning to a true Fae. What is age to the ageless, to the immortal? Very well. Well.
How curious. You are mortal, but your steps resound with a burden greater than any one mortal might ever hope to bear. More curious still is your presence here. The great scale is not idly moved, nor is my reverie broken without cause. What is your purpose? I have felt the shifting of the scale. I know that Kelrod has now ended his contemplations to serve the King of Sorrows. It is no small thing that he asks, for the knowledge that was given to us by the Weeping King was never to propagate nor to be exploited. But I know of the times that are upon us. Come, let us join with Caelrod. If Bizerain and you are to find the Sorrows, then it is more than my knowledge you will need. Where we must meet, come, and the eldest will be reunited before you. Of the Weeping King's disciples, we were the first. Standing on the edge of the midden, we bore witness to him, transforming our people into something more. We vowed to never let that memory fade. Though death did call, we remained in this world, so that the knowledge of the Weeping King persisted. Along with the Weeping King, it was Caelrod with whom I watched the rise of winter. We were fated to be the first Tender and Delver. I think too long have we been in these contemplations, isolated. When this affair is over, I think we will reunite in earnest. They are the heart of this collective. A Delver can take the Sorrows into their being like the Weeping King did. Becoming a Delver means mastering his art. In the beginning, it venerated death. But in time, the house was revered by Winterfell for its sacrifice. Of that order, I was the first. I had the strength to answer the Weeping King and take the burden of other Fae, but I could not hear the sorrows within them. And so I was to honor the midden and tend its depths, so that nature would forever know that we have honored her call for decay. Caelrod and I have lived long in this world, it is true. But our choice was not driven by some manner of self-preservation. It was to learn. All Fae return their life energy to Ashara on death. But the nature of Winterfell, their essence, lies in the decomposition and decay of all things. Caelrod and I have forsaken being reborn anew to embrace the rotting of the corporeal world among us. That is where nature truly lies. Goodbye. We must goodbye.
We cannot move forward without Alarain's presence. Very well.
I am gladdened that Caelrod and I are united once again. But if Bizerain truly seeks the Sorrows, then he will need more than the knowledge of the eldest. There is a key of sorts to the Sorrows. It lies in the Hollow of Sincere, the Hollow of the Weeping King. We must recover it. Yes, a mortal is not suited to this task, perhaps, but I do not believe we have time to find another to do this for us. We have not asked you to reunite us without cause. Our efforts must be divided. Bizerain must be instructed, and the key must be found. One of us will accompany you to Sincere, and the other will go to the house. We leave the choice to you, mortal. Very well. Then I will go to the house and instruct Bizerain on how to reach the Sorrows. Farewell, mortal. I shall see you once you recover the key from Sincere. Goodbye.
And so it falls to us to claim the key from Sincere. It will not be easy going, but I will lend my magic to your skill. We must move quickly if we are to beat the Tuatha to the Sorrows. I will wait for you in Sincere. Please, make haste. Very well.
Hello. You have done it. You have rid the gates of the Bolgan. As promised, I have another tale to be told. The very first Eren Gastir arrived here generations ago from Mel Senshir, before the final tower was raised, when the great giants of Cluracan were but saplings. On that very first morning of his arrival, while the sun ascended the sky, Gastir scaled the heights and saw below him the great keep of the merchant Ancilla. Gastir could not bear such an intrusion on his new ancestral homeland and swore an oath. By right of mine and sword in hand, I will not forsake our native land. Now that you've seen Castle Gastir, we should move on to the final stop on our journey. The last thing I want to show you is near the coast, on the cliffs overlooking the sea. It's the best story yet, but again, it must be freed of Bolgan. Goodbye. We are almost to the end of our... journey. Free the coast. Goodbye. There, you've cleansed this place of the Bolgan. I shall tell you the last tale, the best of the lot. Believe me, these cliffs were made for my story. I've told the tale of the first Erengustir, he who discovered these lands. And I've told the tale of his descendant, the last Erengustir, he who lost these lands. My final tale is that this last lord took a young mistress to his bed, a servant named Wilda Brandon. They had a child he refused to claim as his own. To assuage his guilt, he wrote a royal letter in which he decreed to her and the child great wealth. But rather than take that letter, she took her own life. Here, that woman was my mother. Hear me, friend. I do not have much, but I will offer you all that I have to find me that letter. The letter that broke my mother's heart. What? How did you... Wait, it's better if I don't know the truth of how you got this. All that matters is that the letter must be destroyed. It proves that I am Gustir's heir, an heir to his heartlessness. For though he would offer my mother riches, he would not give her his love. And she could not bear it. You are my friend. Perhaps I am not yours, but that does not matter to me. You have helped me more than anyone has. I will remember you. I hope you will remember me. She may be the only one truly worthy of the Gastia name, superior to her father in every way. I remember Hill. She and I used to play together in the courtyard. I try not to think of her as a sister. It makes matters all the more confusing. Goodbye.
The gilded ghosts of youth, the curving plates of fey-like scrolls decorate the life's guard of this impostor. It says, "I am like you, Fey Spirit," and shimmers with a brilliant gleam. This cuirass of the Fey Hunter.
Don't be afraid. I know who you are, and this is a safe place. Welcome to my camp. I am Captain Droon Ancilla, great-great-grandson of Clary Ancilla, and heir to the Caelid coast. Unlike the Tuatha, I am a gracious host. Please, come, warm yourself at our fire. Anything we have to offer is yours. I've fought countless battles and survived an interminable siege to return to my native land. Nostalgia does not drive me. I am here for what's rightfully mine. But taking my place on the throne will not be easy. Before he died, my father hid the symbols of his station so they would not be stolen. I speak of the famous Seal of Ancilla and the verdant blades, my father's royal medallion and war chakrams. Without them, I am nothing but a soldier. I was hoping you'd volunteer. Getting the heirlooms will be a challenge. You see, they are held in a family lockbox, the key to which is not in my possession. As for the key, I made a mistake. I was young, foolish. The night before the Bolgan came, I gave the key to a girl. She was... how can I put this? My childhood love. Her name is Hilared Gastier. Yes, a Gastier, a sworn enemy of House Ancilla. It was a gesture. I meant to show her what she meant to me. But now, she has what I need. If you can convince Hilared to give you the key, you will need to retrieve the items from the lockbox in the old family fortress of Seawatch to the east. Good luck. The last I saw of Hilared was at the Battle of Mel Senshir. She became a soldier like me. I'm not surprised. She was always tough. Try checking her family's keep, Castle Gastier. She would likely go there. If she survived, that is. We're trickling in from the drowned forest in isolated units. Not a cohesive front, which is a problem. The geography, the foliage, it's a logistical nightmare. Captain Trav was able to force a wedge into the Tuatha defenses, enough to slip into Alabastra. Breaking through is one thing, holding the line is another. I was raised here. Strange how small it all seems now. Almost like we were all playing at being lords of this land, and that we never had any real power. Even now I can feel it. The darkness. The place doesn't want us here. It never has. Why else would such tragedy have befallen my family? Every dark corner is cursed. I was only 10 years old when the Bolgan came. All I remember of this place are scattered memories. My mother's screams. My father's blood on my boots. I've devoted every coin of our family fortune to the war effort, knowing that one day I'd return to the coast and reclaim what was mine. How I long to see Hillired again. But my responsibility to my family comes first. Goodbye.
Blessed Lyria, I know you. That's right. The last time I saw you was when you dangled from the Baelor like a drop of spittle on a Bolgan's chin. Mercy, the hero of Nelson Shear. I'd know the face anywhere. Let me guess. The army has you out here on a special mission? Me, I'm just trying to live through the nights, trying to find a bit of time to myself. Explore. Really? You know where we are, don't you? This is the Caelid Coast, land of the Alfar Lords. Ancilla and Gastir, the Southern Lights, the Lady's Children? You really don't know, do you? This land is home to many mysteries, and supposedly many treasures as well. My favorite? The Lady's Children. They're a collection of frond-leaf dolls, very rare, very valuable. Legend says they were lost in the invasion. I'd go out in search of them, but duty calls. You would do that? Even with all the other, more pressing matters at hand? My sister is not going to believe this. The hero of Mel Senshir. Legend says that the dolls were last seen in Lady Ancilla's hands when her family was murdered. So I was just going to look around the ruins. I'd try the Ancilla ruins, and maybe the castle. The dolls were last seen on Lady Ancilla when her family was killed by the Bolgan. After you put a dagger into the Baelor at Nelson Shear, the rest of us were sent in to mop up the mess made by the Tuatha. We keep pressing south to Alabastra. The poor hag was driven mad by her isolation out here on the Caelid coast. They say she took the life of her youngest, smothered him with her chamber pillow. After that, it was only a matter of time until every last breath of reason blew out of her. She made the dolls, and they became her new family. Ancient, magical auras that float across the Caelid coast at night. No one is sure what they mean, or how they got there, but I hear they're beautiful. I'm from the plains of Erithil, from Colm. My family moved west after the invasion, but I chose instead to fight. I think about them every day.